G'day guys, and welcome back to today's video. Thank you for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about what to do when you're presented with an offer, how to make a decision, how to understand whether you're making the right decision in accepting that offer, and what to look for. So essentially, first of all, how to obviously look at a contract that is presented to you. And essentially, guys, if you are getting an offer, make sure it's in a contract. A lot of agents and agencies seem to have this practice of doing intention to purchase and things like that. They don't really stand for much. If the buyer turns around and goes, change my mind, don't want to buy it, they've got nothing to basically hold them to an agreement or to have any weight in that offer to take your consideration and your time being put into it. So essentially, make sure it's done in the contract. Look through the contract and go through it with your agent. They'll be able to sit down with you and go through it all with you. Essentially, understand what the price is, how much the deposit is. A lot of people skim over this and don't realize that it's a lower deposit and sometimes too low, and it doesn't give enough weight for that property after it's unconditional towards settlement for people to actually follow through on settlement, and sometimes a default, and then it becomes a big legal battle after that. So 5 or 10% is probably the thing at the moment in today's market. The next thing is to look at is it subject to any conditions, finance, building inspections, subject to sale of any homes or anything else like that they've got currently that they need to sell to move into yours or purchase yours, and looking into them in detail. So the finance clause, look into it and see how much they're borrowing. Ask the agent, have they done their homework? Have they got a pre-approval? How is the agent in contact with the broker or the bank? Have they been able to get that lines of communication? Building inspections. Make sure that the building inspection clause is put in that is not too vague. So it doesn't say, if we find something wrong, we don't want to buy the house. As vague as that. It needs to have a good structure to it, and a good conveyancer of yours will be able to guide you about what to look for in terms of structure. But essentially, it needs to have what it's looking for, so major structural defects or anything like that. Timeline, 7 days, 6 days from signing the contract. And if something goes wrong, what happens? Do they get their money back? What happens, and how does it end? And how do you move on to the next buyer? So that's very important with the conditions. The next thing is obviously the understanding of what the value is. So is that property or is that figure equal to what you're expecting? Is it lower than what you're expecting in some cases at the moment in today's market? Or is it higher than what you're expecting? And what are the things that are attached to it for it to be a higher offer than maybe the other ones that you've been presented to? There is still some multiple offer situations. We just had a property sold in Berwick. We had 4 offers on it. Altogether, the offers range from between 20,000 from the lowest to 20,000 difference to the highest offer in between, and there was all different conditions thrown in the mix. Essentially, it needs to work really well for you for the next phase of your journey and moving on and forward. Looking online before the agent comes out and look in the sold section. When they tell you they've got an offer, sometimes agents like to present everything in its entirety, so they won't tell you what the figure is over the phone, because it's essentially you don't want to be able to make a decision before they come out and miss out on a really good opportunity because you just didn't really look into it well enough, and it could have been a really fantastic offer for you to take on board. So essentially look at the sold results, compare, know what you're at, so when this offer comes in and it's presented to you, you're not just rejecting it straight away when actually it could be a really good offer. Then the next thing is understanding what the timeline process is. If the subject to finance, how many days you need to wait for the 10% or 5% deposit to come in. Once you know all of that stuff and you've signed and accepted the offer, or if you've rejected it, give some really good instructions. Hey, look, I'm rejecting it on this basis. Can you go back to the buyer and get back to me about what we can do in terms of the offer that we've got? Or we've got multiple offer situations. None of them really suit you, but one is very close. Go back to those buyers, give them an opportunity to come back to you and give you a better outcome for you, whether it be conditions or price. So essentially, definitely be prepared and definitely have some research done before the agent comes out with that first or multiple offer situation. So you are aware and making a decision in the moment that is essentially the best decision you can make, and not regretting it later. Thanks guys for watching. If you've got any questions at all, please drop me a line or give me a call on the mobile 0422 406 745. Thanks guys, take care.